What is male privilege? Male privilege refers to the idea that men have certain advantages and privileges due to their sex that are unearned. These can be physical benefits like strength or social benefits due to perceptions and attitudes, like the idea that men are naturally authoritative. These privileges are not available to women in the same way. This is only one of many different forms of privilege. There's white privilege, class privilege, first world privilege, you know, that thing personified by first world problems, memes, hashtags and tumblers, heterosexual privilege, cis privilege, and others. That is not to say that everyone with privilege has it easy or easier than others on the ladder of good fortune. Someone very poor with very simple needs might have found greater happiness and contentment in their life than, say, a 45-year-old banker in New York with a nasty divorce and a midlife crisis. The interplay of different privileges has an effect too. A wealthier African-American citizen probably has it better than an Anglo-Saxon unemployed blue-collar labourer, which is why people often fail to recognise their privilege. People are good at focusing on the bad hand life has dealt them and downplay their good fortune. You might say, I'm not privileged, I'm in debt, I've remortgaged my house, I don't have enough money to send my kids to a good college. Someone else might look at you and reply, you live in a country with a strong economy and rule of law, freedom of speech and religion, with social welfare to catch you when you fall. Additionally, people struggle to see the role luck has played, because we all like to believe in our own agency to make our own lives. There are plenty of rich, successful people who believe they got that way because they worked harder than everyone else, and downplay the role luck has played, or neglect to mention that they came from considerable wealth to begin with. So what does male privilege look like? Here are some examples. Men, on average, are paid more than women. A lot of women's labour is unpaid because there are still social expectations that domestic work, like taking care of young children or elderly relatives and keeping the household clean and tidy, should be done by women. So even after work where they are paid less than men, they work more hours for no money. Women are more likely to suffer abuse at the hands of a partner. More women are trafficked into sex work, women are more likely to be assaulted, and even though most assaults occur in the home or with people you know and not actually in dark alleys, we are told from such a young age to fear this that walking home alone is inherently frightening. If these seem like extreme examples, here are more day-to-day forms of privilege. In the workplace, bonding with colleagues and superiors is an important path to advancement. Men will often socialise outside of work with the higher-ups, staying out late at a bar or a club. Often, either women don't enjoy those activities, or if they're young mothers, they want to go home at the end of the day and look after their kids. Young fathers should do this too, but it's more socially acceptable for men to stay out or work late hours if they choose than for the mothers. Men don't generally have to deal with people hitting on them at any given time of day. No matter where women are, the bank, the dentist, the supermarket, many people think it's totally fine to chat her up even if she's not in the mood. Yes, there are ways women are advantaged over men. Women are better socialised to express emotion. Women have stronger friendship groups generally. But I don't agree that we should conclude male privilege is a myth. Those male advantages I've discussed do still exist. Having certain privileges helps counteract other disadvantages. If I want to work in a male-dominated profession with a culture of sexism, it will be harder for me to get a job than a man with the same qualifications. But I can use my relative wealth to subside for a while on low or non-paid internships and get more work experience than him. Not all men have it better than all women, but we shouldn't miss the forest of male privilege by focusing on individual case study trees. In part 1 of these videos on patriarchy, I explain some of the social structures and perceptions that hold women back, but a big barrier to progress is public resistance to even believing patriarchy exists, and that's because of privilege. People are apt to ignore disadvantages that other people have if they don't see them themselves. Think about how we prioritise anecdotal evidence. Eating sugar is bad for you, but my aunt went on an only sugar diet and lost 3 pounds in a week. Our brains are better adapted for holding on to personalised information. So if someone gives you a statistic, like 1 in 3 women are victims of assault, you go through the list of women you know in your head, your friends, family, etc., and take a mental survey of that, rather than broadening your thoughts worldwide. If you've never felt harassed at work, you probably don't notice harassment in the work environment as much. So getting people to acknowledge their privilege and admit that luck has played a role in their lives opens up greater possibility for empathy, and awareness of cognitive biases will hopefully make people more believing of the evidence. This holds for everyone, but since this is feminist baking, I'm focusing on the male privilege. Soon though, I'll be putting up an episode about men's disadvantages in society, where they come from and how women and men can work together as feminists to make the world better for everyone. Keep your eyes peeled. I'm the Feminist Baker. Keep the flames in the oven and out of the comments section. Toodaloo.